In the last 3 months, we've started to see the financial sector begin to pick up and start to be a leader. In fact, over the last 3 months, the financial sector is the world's best performing sector, just edging out technology. So while the market has been more and more concentrated in some of the leading technology names, it's broadened out in terms of its sector leadership, and I'm encouraged by that there might be more legs to this. But there's certainly any number of reasons why the market might be due for a pullback. It really hasn't seen one since February of last year.
Yeah, you talk about a potential pullback this month or later this month. And what do you think is going to be a trigger?
You know, there could be one. There are a number of different factors. We've got NAFTA negotiations coming up. Of course, trade, a big issue. That takes place in the middle of August. The Fed's annual Jackson Hole Symposium coming up. Of course, not only is there the issue of will the Fed or won't the Fed hike rates later this year, but who will be running the Fed next year is a major issue for global markets and monetary policy. And then we've also got the start of the Atlantic Ocean's hurricane season. Already it's off to a big start. That could have some impact on energy prices and affect trade and a number of factors along the East Coast in the U.S. All those things on the books for August. Any number of them could trigger a little bit of a pullback.
And Jeffrey, it's interesting as well. We've seen interest rate expectations really start to flatten out into 2018 now. What risk is there that we do see that hawkish repricing from the Fed now?
Well, I guess that is the concern. If the Fed gets too aggressive here, even in the face of sliding inflation expectations, if they're just absolutely committed to raising rates, even though the market doesn't think the economy needs that, I think that could be a real recipe for a downside to the stock market. The global economy is doing better than it's done in 5 or 6 years economically, financial stability-wise, but it's certainly vulnerable to a major change in the direction of monetary policy in a hawkish direction. We've already heard the ECB talking about maybe a trimming, tapering QE next year. Certainly the Fed's on a path to raising rates, but the path of that path, very important. How steep it is, very important to markets.